Hi Taurus, this is your forecast for the month of August 2017. If you have visited me before, thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome. This is a general reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, or Taurus Moon. It could also be helpful to watch your rising and moon sign. You can also join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer for love, finance, and other readings. So Taurus, this first week of August, you are withdrawing from something. There's a bit of discontent, some dissatisfaction. You could even be indifferent to the outside world. Maybe you're lost in your own thoughts, you're turning inward. Maybe there's just a lack of motivation about something. You feel somewhat empty, perhaps even a bit depressed. For others of you, you're just taking some time. You want to wait. You're thinking about something before you move forward. It could be that there's some offer that you are considering and you don't know whether you want to take that or not. Something is put on the table and you are considering it carefully. Fortunately, you are able to look at the long range. Something is being offered to you that perhaps sounds good on the front end, but somehow or another you see some holes in this offer, and you know that there is a potential for some problems perhaps on the back end. So you're able to look at the big picture. You're aware of the possibilities and the pitfalls. And so you're able to diffuse any potential problems before they arrive, and you're able to plan and move ahead. But this is a week about taking some kind of risk or a leap of faith on some level, either in yourself, in another person, or in a situation, or all of it. Because this is going to be a week where some situations come across your path that lend an air of anxiety. You feel some kind of worry on some level. Or you're just in a state of mind where you're really focused, you're fine, and you don't really need anything else. Some of you are withdrawing to think about this situation. You're lost in thought and you're socially isolating yourself from other people. You're in a state of, somewhat limbo, just nothing's really going on. Now, this may tie into success or getting some recognition or just taking some time out to appreciate you. You want to get away from it all, get away from the fray. And so you're reevaluating a situation and trying to determine how you feel about it. Now, for those of you who are at peace with where you are in the world, you're feeling good about life, you are riding high, life is good, you feel good materially, work is going well, your personal relationships are on par, then for you, this is going to be a situation where if you're paying careful attention, if you're picking up on the subtle synchronicities, there are going to be a lot of happy possibilities that cross your path. But again, you have to be paying attention. And so for you, there are opportunities to increase your material security, for you to feel emotionally satisfied. But for those of you who are dealing with some doubt, you're going to want to pull back on a situation because you're not sure about how things are necessarily in the present. Perhaps the present has a bit of instability, and it's also making you unsure about your future. So you may be looking at some recent choices that you made or something that you did and questioning whether that was the wise thing to do. For some of you, you're pulling back because there's some dilemma, something that you're facing, dealing with, and you can't focus on anything else. It doesn't matter what comes across your path, who's offering what, whether it's affection, love, an opportunity. You can see one thing and one thing only. You're trying to solve something. And so even when people give you advice or suggestions, you're not taking it. You're not taking them up on it until you finish what you're doing or you solve this problem. It could be that you're just not accepting something because you're in denial. You don't want to see it. No, I'm not going to take that. Don't even put that my way, because, maybe you're taking too much for granted about a situation, or there's something in a situation where things have changed, and yet for you, you're still sitting in that same place. You're like, no, it can't be. This cannot be the truth of the situation. And so it's difficult for you to accept that something has changed, and you may be absolutely refusing the fact that it has changed. Now, the second week, you have a new beginning of sorts. You have the Ace of Swords. So if last week you couldn't figure something out, this is the week where you're going to get some clarity on it. It could be the truth about something, perhaps working together with others, things falling into place, or the truth about, ending some type of struggle and finally making that decision that you were holding back on. For some of you, you have withdrawn because the truth is you need some peace. You need to get away from the things that have been, upsetting your mental state. This is going to be a week where you enter a new cycle. You gain some new awareness of self, of others, and possibly feel a sense of personal empowerment because of it. This could be a week of forceful exchanges with others. For some of you, you're dealing with the legal system. For others of you, maybe this is a medical specialist of some sort. For others of you, you are simply coming up against aggressive people who are domineering, perhaps bullies, people who are exploiters. But this is going to be a week that requires your mental strength, and you may have a lot of thoughts and ideas this week. You may be applying your will towards something, being assertive, dealing with authorities or acting as an authority, and being very determined in your pursuit. You can expect, for some of you, a lot of stimulating conversation. You're having a good mental rapport with others where you're learning things, new concepts, new ideas. Some of you may be dissatisfied with that, what you're learning, or some of you may be dissatisfied with the truth, or you're not accepting the truth. This could be a week where, if you're still in withdrawal mode, you're hesitant to make that first move or make the choice, and maybe you're waiting on the other side to do so. Whatever it is, you've been giving it a lot of thought, and you are clearly understanding what is not on par, what the missing factors are in a situation. For others of you, you're coming out of that social isolation and you are moving forward, and you're going to take that first step to try to clear the air and let somebody know exactly how you feel. Again, this can be a challenging week where somebody could be misrepresenting themselves emotionally. Issues of truth will be important this week. Somebody could be misinterpreting something, and that could be revealed. But this is going to give you the opportunity to find out exactly where you stand with another person and confront that, whatever it is, in order to move forward. This week holds the possibility of winning or losing more than you had considered. You can run the gamut from overthinking a problem this week. For some of you, you're dissatisfied because there's a decision that goes against you. Maybe somebody's abusing their power or withdrawing an offer, could even be threatening you. or maybe somebody's disregarding, feelings. Somebody's being insensitive. But in the positive, you're gaining clarity, you feel personally empowered, and you are asserting your own personal will in a situation. Now, the third week, you have some greater sense of anxiety. There's something on your mind. So maybe the truth you've discovered is creating some worry for you. Now, for some of you, maybe this is connected to illness and you're having to have some surgery. Or, the force of something, the assertion of something. Maybe somebody's worried about asserting themselves or speaking their truth, or someone has said something that causes some sense of worry or despair, or possibly even guilt. Somebody could be cruel to somebody, and either you are doing that or you're on the receiving end of it. Now, for many of you, this is just simply, you're stuck in your head. You're trying to solve a problem. You're expending a lot of mental energy to do so. And you're going round and round in circles, and it's keeping you up at night. But these could be largely unfounded fears about something. You may be thinking that, you want something to unfold in a particular way, or an outcome has to be what you have envisioned in your head. And so you're stuck on that. You're thinking that this one person or this one situation means everything. And it's making it difficult for you to face the truth. In fact, this card, the back is turned to the truth. In fact, on either side of the Ace of Swords, the figure is turned away from the truth, from this forceful situation. So it could be very challenging to face the truth of something, or something that you're dealing with that is challenging. But this preoccupation with it, holding on to it, going over in your mind again and again, is probably just as unhealthy as whatever it is you think that you're facing. Whatever it is, there are answers. There are answers that you're not paying attention to. You're not facing those answers or options or alternatives, although they are there. It could be something that's driving you away from that. Your pride, not thinking, not considering, not looking at the things that are being presented to you or being offered to you, not feeling as if what's being offered is on par because it's not what you thought you wanted. So for some of you, this is about something that's happening outside of you. You're worried about other people and you're trying to fight their battles. And you're trying to make decisions for other people, but this is a week to realize that everybody has to bear their own load. So, you're going to have to let people live their own life, even if it's not the choice that you would have made, or even if you can see the ramifications of that choice and they don't. You're going to have to allow them the freedom to make that choice. So this could be a week where trying to really get whatever it is you want, or whoever it is you want, and not paying attention to those consequences could create some problems for you. And this is likely to tie with the past in some way. Either you're going over some memories or, something about the past, and you're having a really hard time moving on from that. Now, by the fourth week, you're ending on a much more positive note if you use this energy constructively. This is about feeling hope, feeling optimism, trusting in the future, having a sense of renewal in some way. So if this was about an illness, you may be dealing with some type of healing agency this week, or you're getting some kind of answer to an enigma. You discovered the answer to a secret, or something that you were trying to solve. But this week is going to give you the ability to plan for the future. And you may be getting help. If you had trouble with an issue, or maybe you weren't accepting any offers, this could be the week where you get help from various sources and you feel restored in some way, illuminated. Maybe you're offering help to others. So this is a week of comfort and relief on some level. So you feel a sense of peace. You are drawing upon your faith. You're being guided by the stars. You have some spiritual protection this week. Your guardian angels are looking after you. And so something is going to happen this week, some incident, some situation where you feel like you're going to make it through. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. The stars appear for you. Now, some of you, maybe you're a little bit worried. Maybe the anxiety is that you're in focus. People are looking at you, and maybe you don't really do well with getting a lot of attention, but you could be the star this week. Whatever it is, this is a transition. There is something new, bigger, brighter, better on the horizon, and you feel that instinctively. In fact, your intuition is very, very strong this week in your connection to others. It could be why you were worried last week. Maybe you wanted to protect somebody because on an intuitive level, you feel they need something, they need you. This week, you get in touch with your inner self. You use that intuition to move forward. Could be, again, some challenging situations that you're dealing with. And if up until this point you've been avoiding the truth or you've been in denial about a situation, this is the week where you're going to have to confront that reality. And you're going to have to draw upon that faith in yourself, in a higher source, in your ability to move forward. So this is a week where you're at a gateway for personal achievement. Now, whatever you're dealing with, may be unsettling. So how well you can maintain that positive attitude and understand that whatever it is that you're dealing with, this is not something that's happening to you. The positive aspect is that it's happening for you. And it's happening for you in order to give you an opportunity to grow, to discover who you are at your best. So this is a week for finding silver linings. It's also about getting that clarity as indicated by that Ace of Swords. Understanding the truth of a situation and facing those things that you may not want to. Learning that you are capable of dealing with certain things and overcoming them because there's potential in there for growth. But there are other situations where you're just deceiving yourself. It's a no-win situation. So this is a week for you to get clear, gain clarity about what is worth investing in, whether it's challenging or not, and when it may be time to fold your cards and pull away from the table. Because you are intuitive this week, you may mistake your emotions for being your intuition. So you could misinterpret a situation. But this, again, is a week about faith. Faith in you, other people, or a situation, or a belief system that you've been holding on to and refusing to let go. This is a week about the new. It's future-oriented. It's about new possibilities and things opening up in new ways, and not necessarily in the manner or the time that you had envisioned. So this is a week where you could be getting some spirit messages, things coming to you from hidden sources. That first card, Four of Cups, you could be offered things, subtle signs, omens from the universe that you need to open your mind up to receive, gifts that you're being given if you have some self-awareness. For others of you, you're still needing more time to do some thinking and inner listening. Now, the underlying energy is the High Priestess. So some of you will have dealings with important female figures in your life. Your daughter, your sister, friends, particularly women who are single. Some of you may be dealing with people who are working with emotional or psychological issues. It could be counselors or psychologists or somebody that you can confide in, somebody who is keeping a secret. There is a secretive element in situations this month. Maybe you're doing some research, or maybe you're getting some type of advice or assistance from somebody who has insider knowledge of a situation. Again, this can be a very emotional month. You have strong intuition, but you will need to separate when your intuition is cueing you versus when you're just riding on emotion. This is a month where people feel that emotion and they put a mirror up for you to, feel that back. So your relationships are undergoing some type of change, whether they're personal or they're professional. And you are reevaluating some things. You're doing a lot of thinking this month. You're thinking about your relationships, the choices you've made, the behavior patterns, some goals that you wanted to achieve, some beliefs that you had, some promises that were made. You are looking at something and rethinking that thing. And if you're able to rely on your intuition versus your emotion, you're going to come out ahead. So this is a month for you to be very mindful of how you're feeling and how you're allowing that to impact you. Stick with the truth of a situation. Stick with the facts. Again, there is a strong desire on some level for you to protect those that you care about. And because of that, your relationships may become a little bit more challenging than necessary. If you're not paying attention to your intuition and you're going with emotion, you may think something is meant for you, that it is your destiny, when in fact, it's just something that's crossing your path. This is going to be a month where things are offered. There are opportunities for you on the table. They may appear to be like golden opportunities, but you will have to look beyond the surface, because more than likely there's a string attached to it, or there's some kind of consequence or circumstance that you need to carefully consider before you just jump on this opportunity. For some of you, if your emotions are overriding you, you're becoming very you may lack emotional control. You could have some repressed feelings that are coming up in the most inopportune time. Some of you, maybe some hidden enemies are going to come out of the woodworks. Some secrets may be revealed. There could be issues where somebody is being insensitive or hypersensitive, or again, failing to listen to that inner voice. And if that's the case, somebody may be trying to change the rules in order to suit themselves, trying to create a situation that's better for them by bending something, maybe to, meet a challenge, or maybe to get past the competition, or maybe to keep other people confused so they don't know what's going on. Whatever it is, if you make that choice, consider it carefully, because you may bring on something that you're really not ready to deal with. So again, this is about reevaluating how you feel, what you believe, what's been promised, what you're trying to achieve, and getting clear on a situation so that you can be effective. Now, this may connect to friendship, people, groups, people that think like you do, or you think that they do. So this could be about a month of friendship, collaborative efforts, partnerships, or the realization that you've been closing yourself off and that you need to connect more with others. This is also going to be a month where whatever happens, it's just a smaller portion of a larger matter that is slowly evolving and unfolding. You're going to be looking at how attached you are to situations, what you are giving versus what you are receiving. The star card says that the key for any situation is for you to have faith, but it should be faith that is warranted. You should not be participating in any self-deceptive practices. This is going to center around opportunities or situations that have changed or have the ability in some way to change your life. They're connections to the future and the people and situations that are valuable to you. There's some dilemma that you are facing. There's some anxiety about either the truth or an intellectual pursuit, a legal situation, or a medical situation. And this could be a month where either somebody is not really grounded, there's no stability to this situation, or you're still in process. Something is not, fully worked out yet. It's still being formed. There's also a lack of motivation regarding a situation. There's some apathy involved. Now, for many of you, this is about a need to understand the past in some way. And there's a strong focus on being rational as the key to that understanding. There could be issues where somebody is being a very good listener and yet they're not really liking the opposition. They're not accepting of a truth when it's coming at them. For some of you, there's some anxiety. Maybe you're feeling as if you need to cut out some things in your diet. Maybe there's some food indulgence. For others of you, there is something going on that's bringing about a sense of worry and guilt, and somebody's being used as the scapegoat. They're the example that's being set of what not to do. There could be issues of guilt. Somebody may want to have a emotionally supportive environment. You may withdraw because you simply need some greater peace in your life, and you're trying to create that either at work or at home, or you're trying to create that for others. But there is a lot of focus, some heightened mental activity this month, and probably centering around ethical concerns. What is right? What is fair? The right thing to do. That's what's in focus. Also for some of you, your social ambition. So mental clarity is very strong, but just as well, there can be a bit of ruthlessness in the speed of that thought or that communication and the delivery of it. Again, there's a focus on the past. You have the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Star. And so this is a 10, 9, 8. So you're going backwards in a situation in order to deal with something. All right, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.